Dude, I just need a new chair. I'm getting one when I move, but holy shit. So, I was picking my roommate up from the bar last night. He was playing softball or some shit, and they went out to have some drinks afterwards, and he asked if I could pick him up. I'm like, yeah, that's no big deal. It's like a mile down the road. But when I was driving there, I was driving through downtown. I don't really want to say the town. People are weird. I don't want to give out too much information. But as I was driving down this strip of bars to go pick my roommate up, I saw a guy literally get thrown out of the bar. Like he didn't get like escorted out and shoved onto the street. Like I didn't see the bouncer. All I saw was this guy get literally thrown out of the bar. I sped up and tried to drive past so I could look into the bar and maybe see what was going on, but the door was already slammed shut and the guy was just fucking screaming and throwing shit out the door, and I was like, oh my god. It was a Thursday night. What could have possibly happened? I was just laughing at the fact that this guy was still talking shit and stirring up trouble after he went airborne. My guy, it is time for you to get up and walk away, because chances are if he could throw you, he can do a lot fucking worse. Oh shit, Minnesota, man. Alright, what is up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a little bit of, well, it's not going to be something unusual, but it's not really, again, what I had planned. I wanted to play the show for you guys today, but that's going to have to wait till next week, because I just don't feel good, and I don't want to play video games, like, in the slightest way right now. So today we're going to call an audible, and we're going to do something else. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 NFL running backs. I emphasize the word running, not only because I'm not going to put quarterbacks who can run, Lamar, in this list, but I'm not going to be looking at receiving backs. I'm looking at what they can do with their legs. So this list is going to be a little bit different than a lot of you guys would probably think it is. And that's a good thing, right? Nobody wants to be predictable. And for anybody out there who still wants to try G Fuel, guys, if you go to gfuel.com and use code WyattzWorld, you can save a discount on any G Fuel products. Also, there will be no G Fuel review this video. For one, I'm sick and I think my taste buds are a little bit fucked up. And two, at this moment, I don't have anything new to try. But I'm sure they'll be back before you guys know it. Anyway, on to the video. Alright everyone, right away we're going to go over a couple snubs who just didn't make the list. Right off the bat, Austin Ekeler didn't make this list. Everybody knows how much I love Austin Ekeler. But looking at him as a pure running back and not a receiving back, he doesn't put up the production to be in this list. Also, there will be no Ezekiel Elliott right now, guys. I'm sorry, but right now, he is not a top 10 running back in my mind. And if you need any evidence on my side, go look at his stats. He literally has digressed every single year. Hey, he could bounce back, but I'm just saying, right now, he's not on the list. And the last snub that I think you guys are expecting is Saquon Barkley. He is not on this list either, guys. We don't know who the fuck we're getting. You guys actually have a fucking problem, honestly. Get in your goddamn cars and pull up. I mean, I will settle this fucking dispute right now. I swear to Alright, so number 10 we have Josh Jacobs. Now I know we just had an entire video on him. We don't need to go too in depth with Josh. But I mean, come on, look at his numbers if you need to. 1,000 rushing yards, 12 touchdowns. He's a pretty productive running back with his legs. Not to mention, I think people underestimate the amount of power that little bastard has. Like, I know Josh Jacobs might not look that big, but you try to tackle that man at full speed once, I guarantee you he's going to send you ass over tea kettle. I don't know what more I need to say. Like I said, I don't need to dig too much with Josh Jacobs, but yes, he is my number 10. Number 9, this is going to be a personal preference and I'm going to get a lot of shit for it, but Joe Mixon. Now, before you attack me about him being injured and me not putting Saquon on this list, please allow me to explain. Over the course of 2018 and 2019, in those 2 seasons, Mixon and Saquon's rushing stats were very, very fucking similar, except I think Saquon had a couple more touchdowns than Mixon. And I know I probably sound like the biggest Saquon hater, and I swear to God I'm not. But even if he has a couple more touchdowns than Mixon in those 2 seasons, I hated how Saquon looked last year. Like, it's one thing to go out on an injury at your highest point, and it's another thing to go out on an injury when you're literally doing fucking nothing. And Saquon didn't do shit last year before he got hurt. I know he was only healthy for like, what, 2 games? But in those 2 games, he had 19 rushes for 34 yards, averaging 1.8 yards per carry. You can blame your offensive line or whatever you gotta do to try to let that set in your stomach. Okay, part of that's gotta be on the running back. I'm fucking sorry. Anyway, back on Mixon. I think Mixon's just an extremely underrated running back the way it is. But when healthy and on his feet, like we got to see last year actually before he got hurt, if he's used, Joe Mixon is just as good as anybody. And if we need to make excuses for Saquon, we can make it for Joe Mixon because his O-line is just as bad, if not fucking worse. He's fast, he's elusive, he has a pretty good ball IQ. I would put Joe Mixon at number 9. Number 8, David Montgomery. One of the most slandered fucking people for absolutely no reason. He does nothing wrong. He is just a good football player and people fucking hate him. He's coming off a 1,000-yard rushing season, nearly back-to-back rushing yard seasons, actually. Now, it's interesting that David Montgomery is 2 spots above Josh Jacobs because, I mean, physically, they're almost the same goddamn person. But there's just something about David Montgomery. I don't know what it is that ties me in with him. Could be the fact that he has more rushing yards than Josh Jacobs and he has like 20 less carries. But I just get this vibe from him that he's just going to be this brick wall that sits in Chicago for his entire year and does like a Frank Gore type thing and just consistently puts up good numbers for a very long time. And talk about a little steamroller. My God, David Montgomery can put a man on his ass if he needs to. Like, I don't know what's going on with these guys. Were their parents cracking eggs in every single one of their fucking meals? I work out every day. I'm short. Why the fuck don't I look like that? Number 7, we got Aaron Jones. I used to call Aaron Jones a red zone dependent running back who was extremely overrated. Well, it turns out that rushing for 1,100 yards and averaging 5.5 yards per carry is a lot better than being red zone dependent. Okay, for one, I never really understood how fast Aaron Jones actually is. On top of that, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his muscle, I don't know if it's the speed, but it seems like there is times where it's literally almost impossible to fucking tackle him. Like, I've seen him run stretch routes and escape it, and I've seen him escape a group of 4 fucking linemen as he runs right into the fucking teeth. I mean, in the last 2 football seasons, Aaron Jones has thrown up 2,100 rushing yards and 25 touchdowns. It's almost becoming one of those situations where it's just like, hey, give Aaron Jones the ball, good things happen type deal. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to take the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hand. Probably not going to do that. All right, up next we got number 6, Jonathan Taylor. I was arguably just as impressed with Jonathan Taylor this year as I was with Justin Herbert and Justin Jefferson. Casual rookie campaign, nearly drops 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. What the hell? And the fact that everyone was so quiet about his production at the end of the season. He was a fucking menace to society. He was a goddamn problem. At one point or another, I thought they had to call in the goddamn National Guard to get this guy under control. He does this another season, he's going to be a top 5 running back in my book. I mean, god damn it. The only thing that's holding me back from putting Jonathan Taylor higher on this list is the fact that he was a rookie. Okay, it's not very often that someone just comes into the NFL and starts tearing assholes like that. Up next at number 5, we have Alvin Kamara. Ooh, but Wyatt, he's never rushed for over 1,000 yards. Ooh, he's a receiving back. He just caught dump-offs all year. I know. Okay, let's not sit here and act like Alvin Kamara is not an elite running back. He's one of the few exceptions in this league where numbers aren't necessarily needed because when he does play in that position, he excels at it every single time. I hate the New Orleans Saints, not the biggest fan of Alvin Kamara, but I'm also not a biased tool bag. Well, at least I try not to be, and I have to be fair. I'm sorry, you don't drop 6 touchdowns in a game if you're a bad running back. It doesn't work like that. Playstyle, Alvin Kamara is a lot like Dalvin Cook. The only thing about him is that Dalvin Cook is a lot fucking better at running the ball than Alvin Kamara is. And that's saying something since, you know, Kamara is at number 5. Through 4 seasons, Alvin Kamara has 3,500 rushing yards and 43 touchdowns. Bad running backs don't average 10 touchdowns a year, I am sorry. Up next at number 4, we have Christian McCaffrey, and I already know there's probably going to be an angry mob of 1,000 people who want my head on a stick right now. Okay, for one, McCaffrey's coming off that injury, but I'm still keeping him high on this list because we all know how good he fucking is. 1,300 yards in 2018, 1,000 plus yards in 2019. He sure as hell would have done it in 2020 if he didn't get hurt. Okay, I'm a firm believer that the best offensive weapon in the league is Christian McCaffrey. The guy can fucking do it all. He can run, he can catch shit. If you asked him to, I bet you he could play quarterback. But purely with his legs, I can't look at you guys and say that he is the best runner in the league. We all know that's not true. But he still earned his spot in the top 5. We know how good Christian McCaffrey is, and I am super excited to see how he does with Sam Darnold. The real question about McCaffrey is, do you take him first overall in fantasy? Oh God, I don't know. I don't want to think about fantasy right now. Number 3, we got Nick Chubb. There is part of me that thinks there is not a better running back in this league than Nick Chubb. In 2020, Nick Chubb rushed for 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. Oh yeah, and he did that in 12 games. Like Nick Chubb, like he is not a human being. He wakes up, he goes to the gym, he probably works out for like 6 hours. He goes home, he sits on the couch, he proceeds to then eat a 64-ounce ribeye steak and drink a gallon of whey protein. After his post-workout feast, Nick Chubb also loves to help out at the local lumber yard, where he then proceeds to take down 100 trees single-handedly just by running into them. After that, Nick Chubb connects a chain from the front of his car around his waist and he drags his car home by foot. At this point, Nick Chubb is done warming up for the day. You see where I'm getting at. He's fucking unstoppable. He's a superhero. I feel safer at night knowing that Nick Chubb is somewhere out there watching over me. Shit, I might tear up if I keep talking about him. Number 2, we got Dalvin Cook. First of all, he is the nastiest runner in the league. He is disgusting with his footwork. In the category of a running back, nobody in the league even comes close to making defenders look as stupid as Dalvin Cook does. But the best part about Dalvin Cook, and I mean the best part about him, guys, I live in Minnesota, I've watched every single game of his career, is that if Dalvin Cook even gets a split second of daylight, he's gone. There is a 0% chance that anybody on that field will fucking catch him. 14 games Dalvin Cook played, and he rushed for 1,500 yards and 16 touchdowns. He's gonna have 3 more games this year. He stays healthy, good fucking luck. And number 1 is Kailyn Bellage. Through 11 games in 2020, Kailyn Bellage had 303 yards and 3 touchdowns. He is the GOAT. Number 1 is Derrick Henry. Everybody knows it, guys. He rushed for 2,000 yards in one season. It's kind of hard not to give him that trophy as of right now. On his feet, elusive back, power back, call him whatever the fuck you want. 2,000 yards and 17 touchdowns in one season. He's king. And he gets another game added onto it. I don't think we'll ever see somebody break 2,500 rushing yards. That just seems absolutely ridiculous. But Derrick Henry, I could honestly see hitting 2,300 yards. Shit, he would have been close to it this year, guys, if he didn't have those couple games where he just got shut down. We're talking about an actual running back using their goddamn legs. Derrick Henry is the best in the league right now, and if anybody tries to tell you differently, just tell them to shut the fuck up. Alright guys, and that was my top 10 running backs as of this very moment in the NFL. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe it, share it, do what you gotta do. If you guys haven't already, make sure to follow my socials. I have Twitter, I have Instagram, I have TikTok, I have pretty much everything. All the links for my social will be in the description of this video. Anyway guys, I'm gonna hop off, get this shit edited so you guys can watch it and I can enjoy the rest of my Friday. I hope you guys have a terrific rest of your weekend, and as always, I will see you in the next video.